I'm super excited to be here today. I hope everybody's doing okay. I know there's been a lot going on in our county over the last couple days, so I hope it finds everybody safe. And I'm almost ready to present until my computer just decided to not do that. Okay, let's give it a little minute until my computer is back. So I'm glad everybody's here, and I know starting a new business or growing a business can be overwhelming. You might feel stuck. You're wearing many hats running your business. You're offering a great product or service and trying to find clients. Where to get started? Do you need a website? How often do you have to post on social media? So many questions. What I'm doing here with the MCSC and the Women Business Center is a 3-part marketing series where you learn about the basics of marketing, how to create a simple marketing plan, and use low-cost resources for small business owners. There will be a Q&A at the end of each session, and you can ask all the questions that you are usually afraid to ask. So today we have the Marketing 101, and next Thursday we'll have the Marketing Generals, which where I'm showing what's available at low cost or at no cost, and how you define what channels are really necessary and effective for your business. And in 2 weeks, on the 26th, we have Canva for Beginners. That's an amazing free resource for your marketing tools. You can create logos, brochures, social media posts. You receive free pictures, photos. You can create your own websites. So we're here today to learn and discuss ways to create a marketing plan for a small business. And I'd like to start off with introducing myself and sharing my story as a small business owner here in San Luis Obispo County. I was born and raised in Germany. My parents were entrepreneurs. They're retired now. And I worked part-time in their organizations since I was 13, though I didn't stay there. And I didn't become an entrepreneur myself until I was 40. So it's never too late. I went to college and got my degree in hospitality management, and later during my career, I studied event management and marketing while working for different organizations, climbing up the career ladder. In my early 30s, I got hired by an organization located here in San Luis Obispo, and I moved here to the States. As the global sales and marketing director, I traveled frequently between Asia, Europe, and the US. Then my daughter was born when I was about 38, and I decided to leave the corporate world and stay home, which really wasn't. I started missing work and starting looking into new opportunities. As a single mom at the time, I needed to find something that allows a flexible schedule. With 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, and business development, I'm now able to support other small business owners. So I started off as a virtual assistant and business consultant, working remote with a flexible schedule, which allowed me to follow my passion and still be present for my daughter. Yeah, a flexible schedule sounds great on one hand, and believe me, there was many late nights, and I believe that most of you happened that too. In 2018, I connected with the Women Business Center and started as a marketing and business consultant. Over the years, I worked with several local entrepreneurs, supporting them with starting a business, creating a sales and marketing strategy, budgeting, and staying focused on their goals. Through the Women Business Center, I also started my own small business, Scoop the Magic. My mentor at the time introduced me to 2 women who wanted to sell their business, which was very small at this stage. Entrepreneurship wasn't their thing, which is totally fine. It's not for everyone. I was intrigued and I did my research. The dairy-free sector is growing, and I thought ice cream is a fun product that makes people happy. Who doesn't like ice cream? I have a love for creating food, and with Scoop the Magic, I could create something on my own. I started with selling at several local farmers markets here all over San Luis Obispo County. The feedback from customers kept me going. I heard over and over again, "Thank you for doing this." And when I received raving 5-star reviews from strangers, that's when I really noticed people must like my product. I started approaching local grocery stores and built a local network of vendors over the past 3 years. Every time I got into a new store, dropping off my first order, I was terrified it wouldn't sell. Why would someone grab a pint of Scoop the Magic as there are so many choices in the freezer shelf? But each store sold out in the first week, and I realized I created something unique. But it wasn't always easy, though it is rewarding. I went through a lot of hoops and had several moments where I wanted to give up. I'm a solopreneur. I do everything myself. I make the ice cream. I design my packaging. I make deliveries, and I try to do some marketing. And I have plans to grow and expand. But Scoop the Magic started as a side gig and still is. I still work most hours as a virtual assistant. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, I was truly grateful for several streams of income in an ever-changing environment. And I'm just saying this because building a business is not easy, and I wouldn't recommend giving up your 9-to-5 job until your business can fully support you. So why am I telling you so much about me? Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it wouldn't change a thing. And I just want you to know that I understand what you're going through. Do I have all ducks in a row? Definitely not. But with gaining more and more experience, I learned that I can now help others with working out what matters the most for them and their business. To start a business is overwhelming, but I truly love to support my clients in their journey. Okay, let's get started with marketing one-on-one. As Gabrielle mentioned, you can put any questions in the chat. We can review them later. So not all marketing techniques rely on a big budget, specialized skill set, or many resources. There are techniques and tactics that will drive impressive growth without requiring deep pockets or a big team. And as a small business owner, you most likely don't have a big budget nor a team. And that's fun. But let me ask this: what is meant by a small business? We toss the term small business around to mean everything from the coffee shop next door to a company that has 200 employees. Each country defines small business differently. In the European Union, it's less than 50 employees. In the States, it's generally less than 500 employees. Interesting enough, the United States Small Business Administration even has an entire chart dedicated to determining, based on your classification, whether or not you qualify as a small business. And these definitions are created to determine if a company qualifies for certain government benefits or is obligated to follow certain regulations. I don't intend to debate the literal definition. It doesn't really help when it comes to identifying techniques and tactics that work best. Instead, I want to clarify how I think of a small business when it comes. So first, we have to establish goals. You likely have a vision of what you need your marketing to accomplish. It might be to increase traffic on your website. Do you want more phone calls or get more customers come through your doors? All these are examples of common marketing goals, but as is, they're useless. Your goals need objectives. You see, goals are the general idea of what you want to accomplish. Objectives are how you'll make it happen and how you determine if you succeeded. Goals without objectives are useless. One of the most common mistakes in small business marketing is not setting goals. You can't simply point yourself in a direction and march forward. You need a plan. Many small businesses approach marketing and wind up with decision paralysis. There's just so much you can do. It's hard to know what you should do, let alone where you should start. How to approach marketing. Before you step into attracting customers, what do we need to have in place? We first need to look at the business. What is important? What is an important first step of developing a marketing strategy? You have to have a clear value proposition. Well, what is a value proposition? Well, it's a short, distinct statement about how your business is different from every other company that says they do the same thing. The so-called USP communicates the value of your product or service to customers and why they should purchase the said items. During another workshop earlier, or like last year, I got asked, what is the difference between the value proposition and a mission statement? Well, a value proposition shows why it is unique and the best among the competitors. The mission statement defines a company's value, culture, ethics, and agenda. A mission statement is a phrase that explains the purpose of being in concise and simple terms. Okay, so now we're talking about the mission of a company, but what's a vision statement, I may ask? So your vision statement gives your company direction. It is the future of the business, which then provides the purpose. The vision statement is about what you want to become. Vision statement questions look like, what are our hopes and dreams? What problems am I solving for the greater good? Who and what are we inspiring to change? Let's take an example, IKEA. Their mission is to offer a wide range of well-designed, functional home furnished products at prices so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them. And their vision statement says to create a better everyday life for the many people. And why does it work? The mission here focuses on the functionality of IKEA's products and the affordability for their customers. In the vision, the IKEA team has a true sense of purpose in creating a better everyday life. But let's come back to the value proposition. Value propositions show why what you offer is unique and the best among the competitors. Ask yourself, what? What makes your business attractive? What makes you unique? What problem do you solve? It should be something that can live as a headline with a supporting sentence or a few bullet points. It should be front and center in your messaging and be the foundation by which you build all of your marketing around. It must be simple, clear, and easy to understand in 5 seconds. And then how? How does your brand, product, or service aim to solve the problem? Next, we look at who we're selling to. And this is known as your target market. You want to understand who they are, what motivates them. Your target market is not everyone. It is a specific group of people that you believe will resonate best with your marketing message. It is much easier to tailor your messaging and your marketing when you know who you are talking to. And I want to bring in an example here with my Scoop the Magic ice cream. While you think, well, everybody's eating ice cream, I want to find my niche. Of course, everybody could potentially eat ice cream, but I know if I go very specific with my messaging to people who want specifically non-dairy in their ice cream, I can be way more effective with my marketing message. And then last, why? Why should a customer get the problem solved by your product and service? You also need to know what your competition is up to. It's difficult to decide how and where to market if you don't know where your competition shows up and how. Are they chasing the same market segment? If they're reaching a different group than you've considered, what messaging are they using and how have they framed their value proposition? By understanding the landscape that you are marketing in, you'll be faster on your feet with ideas on how to stand out from the crowd. Now, it's by no means going to be easy or quick, or are the results going to be instant. But if you apply yourself and work through these concepts, it'll start to click. Things fall into place and you will be moving your marketing efforts forward, piece by piece, until you pick up momentum. It's no secret that the success of a business depends on having customers. And in order to have customers, you need to find them. And in order to find them, you have to message them. And to message them, well, you have to know them. If you're marketing without really knowing your customer, please stop. To process on finding and knowing your customer is accomplished through customer segmentation. Customer segmentation is taking your broad target market and breaking it down into smaller groups of people that have a lot in common. When you have focused customer segments, you save money because your marketing is more effective. You start segmenting, you need to define your ideal customer. You take the broad market and divide it into segments organized by multiple attributes, and these attributes combine demographics, psychographics, behavior, and needs. Demographics factor in age, gender, marital status, income, and educational level. And this is the broadest targeting. You might target, say, 24 to 45-year-old who make less than $50,000 annually and are single. But this isn't quite specific enough of a segment. If we put that audience into the room, how similar would they really be? Would they all love sports, for example? Probably not. So you need to layer. And one approach to layer is looking at psychographics. And this classifies a group of people according to opinions, beliefs, values, attitudes, and interests. So we might create a customer segment based on initial demographics and then add in that this audience values environmentally conscious companies and like reading books. Members of that audience will have a lot more in common with one another. And you can also use relevant behavioral attributes to describe your target customer. So here you might identify consumers based on an action they take and how frequently they take it. This could be people who get a to-go coffee every day, or those that spend 2 hours on Instagram. Another market segmentation technique is needs-based segmentation. With this approach, you divide the market into customer segments that each have distinct needs. Now you want to identify segments that you feel have a high likelihood of needing or wanting what you are selling. Once you have your segments, you will be able to build campaigns that speak directly to that customer. To succeed at marketing small, have specific segments. You can always add more as you find success. Once you know the audience you're talking to, you can create powerful and personalized messaging. Your message is how a consumer will come to interact with your product or service to decide if it's right for them. And this messaging is present at every touch point, from the very first visit to your website, the interaction on an advertisement, all the way through the decision to purchase. To persuade a customer to buy, you must communicate your value effectively, and you do this through a strategic message. One of the main attributes of strategic messaging is consistency. The best messaging is always simple and consistent. Now, when it comes time for creating the message, tell a good, convincing story. Storytelling captures people's attention and motivates them to take action. To be convincing, make sure you come across as trustworthy, confident, empathetic, and composed. And 2, appeal to emotion. People buy on emotion and then justify it with facts. Remember to focus on outcomes that are inspirational, aspirational, or would represent a significant milestone for a person or company. And last, be clear. Avoid fancy words and use more conventional language. Very last, be obvious. Don't assume that your audience understands terms that you use in your communication. Use obvious words or define one that aren't so obvious. Be sure that your message contains a flavor of your value proposition and use the same tone and theme across all your marketing platforms. Understand your audience, tell a great story, and be authentic. And marketing isn't just about the messaging. It's about the entire journey. It's about how consumers feel while engaging with your product or service, how convincing your solution to their problem is, how pleasant you make the experience, and so on. You want a marketing strategy that encompasses every touch point. Marketing is by no means quick or easy, and the results aren't going to be instant. But if you apply yourself and work through evolving your strategy and revisiting it often, it'll start to click. Things will fall in place, and you'll be moving your marketing efforts forward, piece by piece, until you really pick up momentum. As your marketing strategy shapes up, you'll need a place to put all the information you're capturing. It needs to be easy to update. So I have this very simple sheet that was emailed to you earlier. We've also put it in the chat, so it's at the very top of the chat if you want to download it. And so with this template, it's like an exercise. So you have a series of boxes that you'll fill out, and it's divided up so that the left side of the page is all about your product or service, and the right side is all about the market. Okay, let's walk through these fields together. In the problem box, list 1 to 3 high priority problems that your consumers have, and below them list any existing solutions that they try to solve those problems. In the customer box, list who you are targeting. From here, the solutions box is where you list 1 to 3 ways that your product or service solves the consumer's problem. And from here, you'll fill out your unique value proposition. And this is right in the middle, as it lives both between your product or service and your market. Now, moving on, you'll need to outline your revenue streams. How are you going to make money? What's the lifetime value of your customer? What's the gross margin on whatever it is you're selling? And now, just to the left, is your cost structure. And this is where you list the operational cost from making the business get all the way to market. How much will it cost to acquire your customer? How much does it cost to run the business? How much are you going to be spending on marketing? Next up, measure. Measure and monitor the performance. List what activities you'll be measuring that are going to demonstrate that you're successful in your marketing efforts. And now to the box, advantage. What do you do so insanely well that nobody can copy you, or that puts you way ahead of the competition? Listed here. This one-page marketing plan is a fantastic exercise that can help bring some clarity to the chaos that is marketing. But yes, we forgot the channels box. Well, we haven't talked about marketing channels yet, which is the topic of next week's workshop. Marketing channels are your path to the customer. and it's how you'll communicate the existence of what you're selling. And pick the channels that your customer segments are spending the most time with. There are so many marketing channels to choose from. It can be overwhelming. Where to start and how to narrow down the list. Between email, print, online ads, and social media, just to name a handful, your options are nearly infinite. Marketing channels are how you distribute your message and your goal, especially in small business marketing. So it is to identify which marketing channels should belong on your list and which ones you can't accommodate. Because we don't need all channels, and that's something we're working on next week. So to decide which channels are worth your time, start by asking yourself this question. What do you want your marketing effort to accomplish? If you want to develop brand awareness, use mass media channels. If you want a specific action to happen with a targeted set of prospective customers, then go with a personalized approach. If you're just getting started with marketing, I'm going to encourage you to invest in personalized marketing first. You might find more immediate success in sticking with the personalized approach for now. Now, after you identify what you want to accomplish, ask yourself, where does your target market turn for information? From here, identify what information you need to convey and how quickly you need to convey it. If you have a weekly special that you're promoting, you don't want to advertise in a monthly magazine. If you want to show your product in action, then you might want to turn to a YouTube ad. From there, you need to figure out where you're going to start. And to do that, I like to evaluate each idea based on the effort required to build out the channel and the value in doing so. So next week, we will dive deeper into marketing channels and what resources and tools are available at low or no cost, and how you define what channels are really necessary and effective for your business. So we've done a little bit earlier than planned. So if you want to maybe write down for yourself as a homework, you can make a list of any marketing channel you have been using so far and you have been thinking of, because the brain dumping helps you get it out of your head, put it on a piece of paper, on a Word document, and then we can review it together next week.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute your mics, or you can just type it in the chat box.
Hi there, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So I have trouble with defining who my ideal clients are and separating them into categories. Do you guys have any suggestions on how to get started on that?
Is it a new business or is it existing? Do you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure. I'm a little over a year old now, and I offer aesthetic services. So I know my clients are mostly women, and it's just kind of hard to go from there.
Is it like, what specific services do you offer?
Facials and eyelashes.
Okay. So it's not all women, it's probably women that want to like do something for themselves, or so it's not like all women, because not everybody would get a facial or eyelashes. So it's a specific group of women that want some self-care or want to take care of their skin, or want fake eyelashes, or because of how they want to feel and look like. So it would be very specific to that. So then you would ask, where would these women go? Like, do they usually go to the gym because they take care of them in general? They take care more of their bodies. Maybe they go for hikes, or yeah. So I'd say like start there.
That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Lee, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Hi. So you were talking about a startup personalized marketing first. I was just wondering if you could expound on personalized marketing and what that looks like. For a person, you know, and how they would reach out with personalized marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like about your personal story and like in your environment, like where you are, like local people that you know, stores that you know, kind of like things that we have been doing.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah, just, so, and then stores that we know. Okay. Because I know, like, you know, we were telling my story on my website. So, like, would I maybe send an email out to somebody with kind of my story to, you know, approach them to put my product in their store?
Yeah, I mean, the personal story in a locally made product helps a lot in getting into local stores because especially I feel here in SLO County, people are very supportive about local products.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, that was part of the storytelling, I think, where you have your recipes from your aunt and like it was in your family for a long time. I think that's very helpful to tell your story and share it with potential customers.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're doing awesome.
Okay, we have a couple of questions in the chat box from Amber Allen. She said, can you go over the marketing plan again?
I would probably not do it here I mean, I can repeat what I said. I think if somebody wants to like dive deeper into the plan, maybe we schedule a session together. I feel it might help you personally more. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a consultant with the Women Business Center and we can schedule a one-on-one. You can email me directly or you can email Gabrielle or call her. And then we can maybe work on that together.
Okay, that's great. So I'll send an, Amber, I will send an email to you with Yuli's contact information and you can reach out to Yuli and you guys can go from there. Does that work for you?
Yes, that works. Thank you so much.
Okay. And then we have another question from Sabrina Cox. She says, how often should you review your marketing plan?
I think it depends on your goals. Like, I mean, I would say at least every 6 months, especially as you don't want to work on something for a year and then, oh, you see, it really didn't have any success. So I would rather say every 3 to 6 months, or every time like something is done, like a campaign is done, and like for instance, as an email campaign, you can instantly see the results, like how many people clicked on it, what's my opening rate. So I would definitely, as a startup and a small business owner, I would definitely review it more often. I would say every 3 to 6 months.
Okay, Sabrina says, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I have a question.
Okay.
I sent it to the inbox, but I don't know if you didn't get it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. I run a car rental business in Bakersfield. It's a small car rental near to the airport. We are in most of the reservation channels, Expedia, carrentals.com, everything. And we always try to be a little lower than the competition at the airport, but because we are not exactly at the terminal, it's just been a little bit difficult for us to get reservations the way we expected. We have tried everything in our way to get more customers who fly in at the airport, but it's just not being successful. Do you have any idea how that can work?
So how far away is it from the airport?
We are a mile away. We have an office right by the private section of the airport. So it's just a matter of us picking up the customers and bring it over to the office and renting them a car, but it's still not been working the way it should.
So you offer a shuttle from the terminal to your car rental?
We offer a shuttle pickup, yeah.
Okay. And how do you, why do you say it's not working? Because in the past you had better sales, like you rented more cars, or how can you compare it's not going well?
No, it's been like that since the beginning. We opened that office around 2 years ago. And it's always been like that. We never had more than what it is now. It just for some reason not even if we are exposed we are in all the channels competing with everybody else. It's just we don't find the answer for that.
And are you a rental company that it's like known like Avis? Because I know a lot of people have memberships or like.
Well, yeah, those are big names. My name is Priceless Car Rental,
Mhm.
which is not a famous one, but it's also nationwide.
Okay.
So
And so do you have a comparison to other priceless rental car stations that they have more sales? Or do you know about the airport locations that they do more because they're located directly at the airport?
what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So I was just wondering, how do you compare? How do you know that your sales are low? What are you comparing it with? Are you comparing it with other locations from priceless rental cars, or are you comparing it with rental car locations that are directly at the airport?
With Priceless.
Okay,
Other airports or other Pricelesses and another airports.
okay. So, I mean, you said Bakersfield?
Yes.
I didn't even know there's an airport. So maybe it has to do with the location itself, or are there other smaller locations? Locations.
Well, there is three rental cars in the terminal, which is
Okay.
Enterprise, Avis, and Hertz. So those
Yeah.
are very big competitions for us, but we try to be on the prices. We try to be a little lower so we can have more attention to our store. But I'm not sure if it's because we are not located inside the airport or because people see like a problem.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it has to
Shadow.
do with the location itself, but maybe we'll also have a one-on-one if you like, and we dive deeper into like potential solutions for you.
Yeah.
In case somebody else has a question, so you can
Mhm.
move on to the next question. But thank you.
Okay. So what I do is I just
You can email me, or you can,
Email.
or Gabrielle can reach out to you, whatever is easier.
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and we do have a question in the chat box from Amber. Let me see. She says, what marketing channel has worked best for your food business success?
Best was definitely farmers market. I think farmers market and Instagram, but not food business is the same. So that's just for me here being only SLO County. I only sell here in SLO County.
Yes, I do. I have a sweets business. I sell treats and baked goods. I was just wondering what would be the best marketing channel. Right now I am using Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. But I do think that I want to get the permits so I can go ahead and enter into the farmers markets as well.
Yeah. Have you tried any wholesale business?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Like, have you tried to work with smaller grocery stores that would sell your baked goods for you?
No, I haven't yet. I've been doing more like local orders.
Okay. And you're the same one who asked about the one-page marketing plan, right?
Yes, that was me.
Okay, yeah, good. So maybe we can talk more when we have a one-on-one.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.